He waited 2 years for that raise. 2 years of patience. 2 years of doing every single thing right. And eventually, it came. 200,000 naira more every single month. But 6 months later, his account looked exactly the same. Not because he wasted it, not because life suddenly got harder, but because the money changed and the pattern remained the same. That pattern is exactly what this video is about. Let me ask you something. If money was the answer, why do so many people who start earning more end up right back where they started? I mean, it doesn't matter. A promotion, a bonus, a successful business month. For a while, it feels like everything has changed. Then the lifestyle catches up, the spending adjusts, and somehow the savings barely move. So what's actually happening? Psychologists have a name for it: hedonic adaptation. It's the reason a pay rise feels life-changing until it doesn't. A few weeks later, the new income feels normal. Not because you are ungrateful, but because human beings are incredibly good at adapting. Now, here's something that surprised me. You've probably heard that most lottery winners lose all their money within a few years. I mean, it's repeated everywhere, but it isn't actually supported by the evidence people usually cite. The National Endowment for Financial Education has publicly said they never produced that famous statistic. And the real research is actually more interesting. People with stronger financial habits generally manage their winnings far better. But people without those habits often spend through the money the same way they always had. The amount changed and the pattern remained the same. Now, let's make it personal. Imagine two people. One earns 200,000 every month and saves nothing. The other earns 800,000 every month and also saves nothing. These are different salaries, but the same financial destination. And that's not an income problem, it's a pattern problem. Now, this is where most finance videos will tell you to budget better, to spend less, to stop buying things you don't need. But those behaviors don't appear out of nowhere. They usually begin long before your first salary. Think back to the people who raised you. Not what they told you about money, but what they actually did with it. Your brain was watching. Money comes in, spend it before something happens. Saving feels risky because growing up, savings rarely stayed untouched. Investing feels unfamiliar because nobody around you seemed to do it. You didn't consciously choose those responses, you inherited them. And today, they are still making decisions for you before you even realize it. So what do? You don't start by fixing everything. You start by identifying the problem, the pattern. When money enters your account, what happens next? Where does it go first? How long before your balance quietly returns to its usual number? That sequence there is your financial operating system. And you can't update software that you haven't identified. Now, I want to be fair, because everything I've said so far is true, but it's only half the picture. Across the videos on this channel, we've talked about inflation, currency devaluation, limited access to capital. These problems are real. Your financial habits did not develop on their own. They developed inside an environment that often rewarded short-term survival. So this is not about blame. It's about recognizing that within the things you can control, the pattern matters more than the amount of money. Because no amount of money can permanently change a system that consumes everything it receives. So what actually changes things though? Not just earning more, not just endlessly cutting expenses, but interrupting the pattern. Interrupting the pattern before it has a chance to run. The moment money arrives, a percentage leaves automatically. No negotiation, no emotion, no decision to make. You don't argue with the pattern. You build a system that works around it. The same way we talked about protecting yourself from exchange rate risk. You don't defeat the environment, you design around it. That raise didn't change him, but understanding why it didn't can change everything. Because eventually you stop asking, how do I make more money? And start asking, what does my money do the moment it arrives? And that question is where the real change begins. Alright, we've come to the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and comment what type of video you want me to do next. The African Audits. Stay locked in.